Hi gang, I'm back again. I've been pretty consistent, I think. I've been trying, I've been doing my best. If you're new to my channel, my name is Harriet. I'm a psychotherapeutic counsellor, a life coach, and I love all things manifesting and self-improvement. So today I thought we'd do a little manifesty one because I am balls deep in this whole negative manifesting spiral, which is where we find ourselves sometimes. And I've been here before, I'll be here again, and that's also true for everybody else. So I thought it would be good to have a little think about how we can give ourselves a helping hand to get out of these situations quicker. I mean, nothing terrible is happening in the world of Harriet, but it could be better, guys. It could be better. And I think that's all it needs to be, really. You get to dictate and decide what your level of comfort and happiness is. And sometimes life dips below and we kind of say, hey, what are you doing down there? Don't remember signing up for that. Let's raise that vibe. Okay, a good starting place would be for you to watch my other video about 3D lag, which I've linked. Because that's the whole idea, that whatever's going on now is a result of whatever we were thinking, whatever our dominant thoughts and beliefs were however long ago. That could be a month or a year or yesterday, I don't know, depends how quickly things are moving in your little cycle, I suppose. But I find it helpful to remember the 3D lag part, because otherwise I can get quite spirally about thinking, oh my god, I'm spending too much time focusing on the negatives, I'm stressing, I'm worried, oh god, what's coming next? And I can get a bit I can feel a bit at the mercy of my mood, thinking it's just going to welcome more unwanted experiences in, and then the future can feel like quite a scary place. But that's okay, that's okay, that's why we're here. I mean, when you've noticed that you are attracting a fair old chunk of things that you don't want into your experience, I mean, they do make themselves known, don't they? It's not with a whimper, but with a bang. We definitely notice, and it's really tempting to curse the sky, wonder why me, what have I done to deserve this, yada yada yada. But I mean, if you believe in that universal power, you know that it's neutral anyway. There's no agenda, there's no favourites, there's no you deserve a bad time. It's always responding to the frequency that we're putting out. So yes, if you were exceptionally stressed about work or your relationship 2 weeks ago, then maybe something else to be stressed about, like your car might break down, might happen now. It doesn't always reflect directly what we were thinking about, but more the energy of I'm stressed, here's more to stress about. I'm worried, here's more to worry about. I personally, and I'm saying this so that you can kind of pick up what I'm putting down, find it empowering to recognize and sit with the idea that I did this to myself. If you feel like you're just a victim of circumstance, of the world, of the universe, then it's a bit bleak, isn't it, to think that there's nothing you can do and that it's all unfair and unjust and that you just got smited. It's not fostering that much for positive energy. And when I can say to myself, no, remember, last week, 2 weeks ago, you were really stressed. You were really in your mind. You were in your head. You were in ego. You couldn't see out of it. You weren't looking after yourself, whatever. I can kind of think, right, this now that I'm going through is a direct response to my lack of faith, my lack of self-care then. So it's more like it's inevitable rather than I'm being punished. I mean, what we're wanting to do is to interrupt that cycle. So like I said, right now, I'm not having the best time. It's fine. We kind of go through it with a smile on our face. But it's only because I've done this 1,000 times that I'm kind of like, oh, here we go again. What can I do to kind of speed this up and get back to where I want to be? So the first thing that I do is slow the flip down. I slow down. And I'm often saying this to people. When people sound like little rabbits on crack and you have to be like, chill your boots, calm down, it's okay, take a breath, do what you need to do to ground yourself, dig around in dirt, wear no shoes, get out in nature, drink lots of water, slow down, no murder mysteries or violent films, take a breath. So that's my first port of call, because I do start running on fumes. I start getting far too much nervous energy, and then that all builds up and it's really loud in my head. So I kind of think, right, how can I really tone it down into boring, simple nothingness, which is quite wonderful actually. Sorry, I got distracted, one of my phones went off. Slow down. I will have like Horlicks. Does anybody else have Horlicks? They're like a multi drink with no caffeine in, so it's just like malted milk, like those little cow biscuits in a drink. It's great. It's like really grounding for me. It's nice and slow and familiar taste. So things like that, like you know what's going to activate that part of you that goes, okay, it's time to rest. Do that. That's my first port of call, because until I'm calm, I can't reset. It's kind of, you're literally pressing the reset button. You're saying, hey, take everything else out, go back to basics. The second thing that we can do to break free of the cycle and to like push that fear away that the worst things are coming, we don't want that, is to actively work on raising your vibration, because it can feel really difficult when we're kind of facing adversity and when things are going wrong. It's like, actually a high vibe sounds like a pipe dream right now. I did a video on high vibe activities and low vibe activities, so it's kind of like, which ones are you doing the most of, because some of them are unexpected, I guess, things you wouldn't necessarily think of, and I had quite a lot of fun making the list, so give that a watch if you're unsure. But find ways to restore yourself, find ways to raise your vibration, get you back into that mindset of abundance, of love, of knowing that you deserve better, all of that. And most of all, like, remember that you have the power to change this. You aren't a victim. You aren't being penalized. You're not being punished. This isn't karma. This isn't like, oh, you deserve to be, you know, this isn't any of that. Anything that you're sticking the label on, or bad things come in threes, or why is this happening to me, or I don't deserve this. It's like, no, you don't deserve this, because it's not about deserving. It's just a response. You are always just being responded to in what you're putting out. And what you were putting out was either stress or worrying or anxiety or panic or doubt, you know, whatever you were putting out. It's just finding you now. Because if everything was completely instant, if manifesting was completely instant, there wouldn't be any naysayers. There'd be nobody that doubted it, because they'd be like, hey, I wish I could win the lottery. Here you go. There always has to be this part where we need to find the frequency, we need to work on ourselves, we need to make sure that our beliefs match our desire. There's some work involved. So just as you might want this new job, you know that you don't just go, I want a new job, here you go. We know that there's a delay. We know that there's a 3D lag, that there's some time that we need to actually do the work. It's the same the other way around. If you're worrying that something is happening, it doesn't usually blow up in your face that day, but maybe 2 weeks later you might be facing the music. You know, it's time to pay the piper. And again, you're not being punished. It's completely neutral. It's a neutral activity. And the thing with that is that if there's a 3D lag and it's like, oh, okay, I had these thoughts or experiences or behaviors and now I'm paying for it, right? You can know that however you show up today, you'll kind of receive that in however long it takes to find its way back to you. So make the effort now to be that neutral, happier, more content person who's prioritizing their needs, who's tried to strip back all of the things that were stressing them out in the first place, and who is actively doing their best to write gratitude lists, to do their scripting, to you know, connect with people that raise their vibration, to take any stresses out that you can, to eat well balanced meals, to drink more water, whatever, just everything you need to feel like a loved body. Do it. And I mean, the other thing, which, believe me, oh, I know how hard it is, but don't give attention to what is happening now, because I've said this before, but I've had probably like a whole year of my life, not now, but before, where it felt like nothing changed at all. Not a damn thing, nothing changed. And I was like, how is it that I've stood still for 12 months? And I was really like, you know, pondering over this, really exploring that, because I know that it's not possible. And what I kind of came up with was that I had been given attention to my current situation, and in so doing was welcoming more of it in, right? I was like, this is what is, this is what is, this is what is. So the universe was like, yeah, this is what is, this is what is, this is what is. I wasn't wanting more for myself. I wasn't expecting worse. I was just looking and accepting over and over and over again. So I was getting it over and over and over again. So, you know, don't spend too much time or emotional investment, and don't give any like credence to what is happening now. Don't look at it and think, this is my life. Like, I had some like ill health, just like a quick thing, but if I kept giving that attention, I know that what I would have continued to bring in would have been more ill health. It would have just come out a different way, you know. I'd have got some sort of stomach flu or a migraine or something. And if, let's say, part of your car breaks, or you have an issue, or the mechanic needs to fix something, it's almost like just see it as a blip. Just go, oh, okay, I'll fix it then. Rather than thinking, oh my God, that damn car, it's not one thing, it's the other. God, last time it was the engine and now it's the tyres, and then there's going to be what's it going to be next? You're giving attention to it. It needs to be boring. It needs to be like, okay, yawn, who cares, on to the next thing. As in, I'm not even going to entertain that thought because I don't want more of it. So don't give it any energy, because it will grow, it feeds on your energy. So if you're feeding that horrible little pet, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you are going through hell, if you're in a pit of all of your negative manifestations come to fruition, just see it as a blip. It's a temporary thing. It is just a hangover from what you were thinking way back when, whenever that was, because there's no like finite, definite time frame here, but just that's all it is. It's when we start adding stories, narratives, or injecting ourselves into the problem that it becomes a problem. If we're thinking, why me? I'm a victim. This always happens to me. Oh my God, what's next? You know, you're so lucky this never happens to you. If we start what's that word, like moralizing it, or you know, adding, we put all of our little brain power into it. We start sprinkling too many ingredients into it, and then it becomes this whole thing. Well, actually, just see it for what it is, which is, oh, my bad. I fell into that little ego depression pit and now I'm paying for it, but that's okay because everything's going to be up from here. You know, here comes the sun. It's going to get better. Okay, it's editing Harriet here, but something that I didn't mention and I think is really important to add, just as a whistle-stop tour, is not to try to manifest anything else. So don't try in vain to focus too hard on something positive that you're trying to bring in. So don't suddenly think that while you're in this negative manifesting spiral that, hey, now's a good time to start really focusing on that new job I want, or that new house that I want to apply for, or whatever, because, you know, hold your horses, it's not the right time, okay? So bear that in mind, that the priority is to just get through this part and the positive stuff will come later. But I hope that helps, because it helps me. It helps me to think, okay, here's where I am. I'm not going to set up camp. I'm not going to make this my new home. I'm just going to look around and go, damn, this sucks. It's okay, that's okay. I don't have any attachment to it. I'm not going to moralize it. I'm not going to blame myself. I'm not going to be angry at past Harriet. I'm just going to think, how can I take care of me now to ensure that this doesn't perpetuate, so it doesn't continue, so I don't stay stuck on this crappy hamster wheel that I don't want to be on. And one last thing is that all of this will be quite easy for you to do as long as you do the first step of grounding yourself, because that's what I needed to do this week, because I really was cursing the sky. I was pissed. I was really angry and I did feel like a victim, and I was looking around going, oh my God, what else wants to go wrong? You know, we're all human. And as soon as I could slow down, you know, I just gave my partner a call. I ate a sharing bag of skips and life was good. I hung out with my dog, I went for a walk, and then I just stared into space, having a little cozy in my bed, just resting. I didn't do anything, I just rested for probably an hour or two. And then I was kind of like reborn and ready to start tackling the part of how can I raise my vibration, how can I take care of myself, what stresses can I remove? Better. It's going to be easier, okay? It will get better, but it's on you to have that faith that things will get better, because it will, because it always does, because you've got a 100% success rate of getting through bad days. Well, as ever, please do let me know if you have any suggestions or comments or anything you want to add. I'm nearly at 100 subscribers, which is super fun, so please do subscribe and give me a thumbs up or a comment or whatever, because it truly does make my day. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.